Good morning. Hey guys, it's Brad with Arborview Properties. I wanted to do a quick video here to talk about selling an inherited house. This specifically applies to the state of Georgia. My company, Arborview Properties, we buy a lot of houses in Georgia. If you have inherited a house and you just want to sell it and you don't want to mess with it, we'd love to help you. We buy houses like that all the time. You can go to our website, click on the link below, or you can call us at 770-810-5715. All right, I'm going to get into the video here. So, selling an inherited house. So, first thing, this is kind of a checklist. This is a checklist for selling an inherited house. The first of all, you want to make sure that is the probate done. Well, what is probate? If you don't know what probate is, well, obviously you probably haven't done that yet. So, probate is the legal process in which you are basically one is handling an estate. Again, I'm not an attorney, so I'm not giving legal advice here. You should seek out a qualified attorney for proper legal advice. I am speaking from experience on all the houses that we've purchased and helped people out, getting rid of those houses. So you've got to do probate. You tell, well, Brad, there's a will. Well, even though there's a will and the will says, Uncle Johnny gets X, Y, and Z, you still have to probate the will. And I mean, basically what that does is the court reviews the will and determines whether or not that will is valid. And if they determine that that will is valid, then they will say, okay, Uncle Johnny, you're the executor named in the will. You can be the executor, and then you get sworn in as the executor, and boom, then you can sell the property, all of the property of the estate on behalf of the estate as the executor. And then once that's done, everybody gets their money or they get their things or whatever it is what the will says. If there's not a will, then you're going to have to appoint an administrator. You can either appoint an individual or you can appoint a family member, or sometimes the court will appoint an administrator. So you're going to have to probate the estate. And part of the probate process is notifying the creditors of the deceased person that that person has passed away. In case they owe any money, the creditors can go collect that money from the estate. So you're going to have to probate it, okay? And generally that process takes anywhere from 4 to 5 weeks and up. If you do it really fast and it's really easy, generally you can have it done in about 4 weeks. The reason there's 4 weeks is because you do have to publish an ad in the local the approved newspaper of the person who passed away. Each county has their own publication, and they'll tell you what publication you have to publish that in. And you're basically just publishing an ad saying that, so-and-so has passed away. This is a notice to all creditors to come forward. And that has to run for 4 consecutive weeks in that publication. Once it's run for 4 weeks, then you can go ahead and finish the probate out. So the next step is the family's going to have to come into an agreement on what you're going to do with all the assets. Obviously, if there's a will in place, the will say, who gets what and what goes where and that sort of thing, which is why it's important to have a will. But obviously, you're coming to this and, maybe so-and-so did not have a will. So it's a little late for that at this point. But if there was no will, then the family is going to have to come into agreement on how things are going to be split up. Who gets what, how much money goes to who. You're going to have to figure all that out. And that's really the hard part of this whole process, is having the family come to an agreement as to how the property of this estate is going to be disseminated out to the heirs. And that's the hard part. That's where the drama comes into place. That's where people get greedy. And unfortunately, it's very sad when people get greedy, because a lot of times the greedy people are the ones that were never around to begin with. And all of a sudden, when someone dies, they see dollar signs and they come out of the woodwork and then they want what they're entitled to. And we all know these people are basically just entitled, worthless people, and they're just out for the money, and they're probably going to spend all the money and they'll be broke again in 6 months in the same position they were before, because money is not going to solve their problems. Their problems are that they make bad choices, and that's what got them into the problems to begin with. But that's a whole nother story. The next thing you're going to want to do is, if there's a house involved, obviously you're going to make sure that the mortgage and the utilities are paid. If there's a mortgage in place, maybe Grandma Susie has a bank account and there's plenty of money in the bank account, and the mortgage payment is on auto draft, and that money will continue to just come out of that account every month. So maybe you just leave that on autopilot if there's an auto payment in place. Obviously, the utilities are probably still in someone's name. You may have to get those switched, or just make sure that those bills are paid. So you're going to want to notify these people that, so-and-so has passed away. And if you're the administrator or you're the executor in the will, you're going to have to provide some documentation to the mortgage company, the utility company, all of that, and let them know that, so-and-so passed away and I'm in charge and I'm the person we need to talk to, and they'll request those documents from you just to confirm that you're the right person for them to speak to. The next thing you're going to have to figure out here is you're going to have to clean it out. At this point, I'm assuming you're going to want to sell the property. So you're going to have to go through the house. This is the really emotional part here of going back through old memories, going through mom or dad's stuff, and figuring out, this is the really emotional part here, is cleaning it out. And sometimes you feel guilty for throwing things away, but really you don't need it. That's the hard part of feeling guilty about getting rid of certain things, or maybe you just don't want any of it, and you hire a trash out company. And if you want a referral to a good trash out company, actually, if you want a referral to a great website, go to georgiaprobateresource.com, gaprobateresource.com. And there's some vendors on that website. It's a cool website built with lots of information about probate. Go check that website out. And there's some vendors on there. Depending on where you are in the Atlanta area, certain junk removal vendors kind of only have a small service area. So we have a few different junk removal, or there's a few different junk removal companies on that website that you can go to. And they'll come out and just clean the stuff out, either toss it, or you can donate it. You can donate it to Habitat for Humanity Restore. I donate a lot of stuff for Habitat for Humanity. I also volunteer a lot for Habitat for Humanity building houses. I think it's a great organization. You can donate it to, obviously, the Goodwill. You can donate it to the Kidney Fund. You can donate it to wherever. There might be a car that you need to donate. We helped a gentleman a couple months ago donate his dad's old car to a company just to get rid of it. So you're going to want to clean the place out. The next thing you're going to have to do to get it ready to sell is you're going to have to make repairs on the house. So, there might be some deferred maintenance. You're probably going to want to fix all those things. And then it comes to the fact of who's going to pay for those repairs. Did Grandma Susie have money in her bank account? Are we paying for the repairs? Who's paying for the repairs? And then you got to make those repairs to get it ready to sell. And then the next thing, obviously you can sell a property as is with an agent if you'd like to, although typically your buyer pool is going to be a lot smaller. You're probably going to have a lot of investors who are going to make you offers on the property, and they're going to want to buy the property kind of as is, and they're going to fix it up, and they're going to offer you investor prices, and then you're going to have to pay your real estate agent a commission on that. I'm also a real estate agent myself, but I'm not really a practicing realtor. And then you're going to have to list it for sale with an agent. That's the traditional way, where you list the property for sale. You pay a real estate agent. Typically, it's 6%. There's really no set commission, but generally it's 6% commission on the sale. And then your buyers may ask you to pay some closing costs and that sort of thing. So you're going to be anywhere from 6 to 10% right off the top in commissions and closing costs and fees to sell that property. You're going to have to field all the offers. You're going to have to decide on an offer. Obviously, your agent is going to help you with that. Maybe they're going to ask you to fix some more things, so you might have to go back and make some more repairs on the property. And ultimately, at the bottom, you're going to sell the property and move on with life. So let me ask you a question. What if you could get rid of all this? What if you didn't have to deal with any of this? We'll stop here because you might still have to make a mortgage payment. What if sell it fast? So you could sell the property fast, sell it off to an investor, such as Arborview Properties. We would buy it quick. We buy it cash. We buy it completely as is. You wouldn't have to make any repairs to the property. You wouldn't even have to clean out the property if you don't want to. We do that quite frequently, where we will purchase a house completely as is with everything in it. The family just goes in and takes the things that they want out of the house, keepsakes, memories, that sort of thing. And then all the other stuff that they don't want, they just leave it in the house, and we buy it, and we handle all that stuff. We'll donate it, we'll throw it away, whatever we need to do with it. And we'll get rid of the stuff, and you don't have to mess with it. And you could have this house sold literally as soon as you're done with probate. We have done closings literally the day after the executor or the administrator received their probate documents. We closed it the very next day, and they sold the property, and they got cash. The family got cash, and they moved on with life. So imagine that. What if you could do that? That would be awesome. So if you want to do all that, give us a call today, 770-810-5715, or go to our website, click on the link below. Thanks again for checking out this video. You guys have a great day. Again, I'm Brad with Arbor View Properties, and we'd love to buy your house. Thank you.